The COVID-19 pandemic has forced a lot of large events to cancel or go virtual. The organizers of the 14th annual Detroit Trinity International Film Festival have decided that the show must go on. The festival will offer 4 days of virtual screenings, workshops, and panel discussions. The event will highlight the works of more than 40 independent filmmakers. One of the feature films that will be shown on opening night is titled Sprinter.
Are you sure you want to do this?
I'm going to America to help our family.
Set. It's a keen sharp who's now in front. It's a keen sharp who's still win. They're calling this young man the Rats the Rugged.
Akeem, there's no shortcut. Not in track and field, not in life.
You seem to have come out of nowhere. Now you're being hailed Jamaica's next big sprinting sensation.
Rasta Rocket is a brand, so I make some money.
You're on a dangerous path. No man can outrun the choices he makes.
The film festival runs August 20th through August 23rd. I talked with the organizers, Marshalle and Lazar Favors, about the change to a virtual format. First, let's talk about how you hold a film festival virtually. How is that going to work?
He's looking at me, but I'm looking at him because he's the one that really figured it all out for us.
So we found a platform that it took a minute. I had to search for a platform to host our film festival, and I finally got one. It's called Eventive, and what we do, it pretty much helps us navigate through the whole process, just not in person. It's the same. It's the same process, just not in person. You know, we get a chance. This platform allows us to show it all over the world in real time, though. So that's the plus in the virtual world. Everybody in the world gets to see it. So
And my job has been connecting with the filmmakers, and so we've been holding kind of Zoom sessions with them, so people can get to know their films, their journey as filmmakers. So that's been really fun.
Yeah. 14th year of the film festival. That is a very big year, big number.
14th year, 41 films, and how many Detroit filmmakers?
15 from Detroit.
And 15 from Detroit.
Wow. Talk about the lineup this year.
Oh, wow. Well, we can go with, we have, oh my goodness, we have several documentaries. We have one documentary, it's called Mr. Emancipation, about Mr. Perry.
Walter
Perry, the Walter Perry story. That's a great documentary. 50 Shades of, 50 Shades, oh my goodness, 50 Shades.
That's what it's called,
50 Shades. Oh my goodness, Sprinter, obviously. The Conversation with America, that's a great documentary. Oh my goodness.
I just want to talk a little bit about the films themselves. So Sprinter is about a Rastafarian teenager who is trying to make the national track team. And it's a heartwarming story, you know, about grit, and also a family-oriented story as well, too, about family. And the Detroit tie to that story is that David Alan Grier is also featured in the film.
Yeah. That's the film that we had at the opening of the segment here, a little segment of it.
Oh, great, yeah.
That's fantastic. And the other story, A Conversation with America, I just think is a very timely film because the backdrop, it takes place during an election year. So, you know, what's on the hearts and minds of America during an election year. So that's a very timely, you know, film as well.
Talk about the film industry, though. in 2020 and beyond. I get worried as I'm stuck at home and watching more television and movies than I have in maybe several decades. I get worried that I'm going to run out soon because they're not really making movies. They're not really making TV anymore. Are we going to ever have the kind of Hollywood or independent film industry that we had before?
Well, I wish I had the answer to that. That is the $10,000 question. But I will say that there's still an interest. I will say that people have not given up on the idea of, and maybe, like the tax incentives, maybe it looks differently. Maybe there's support for filmmakers in a way that will allow, and we're independent filmmakers, but for production companies to, attract more films here. But there has to be, I think, some incentives in some kind of way, but maybe it can be restructured. And I know that there, as I mentioned, there's still interest there. And people have still not stopped making movies because of it. There's still a lot of filmmakers who are, have story ideas and are getting it done. And as you mentioned, like kind of going forward, we don't know what that looks like as well too, because there are certain standards and guidelines that have restricted, all of us, but specifically in the film industry, people are still trying to navigate, how to make films like safely, like in the future. And there's been a lot of interesting stories that have come out of it. I think also around this, the stories of being quarantined and what that looks like for families and communities. And so we're starting to see a trend in those films that are coming out.
Yeah. One of the great things about Trinity and the work that you guys have done there is the kind of showcase you give to African-American filmmakers, African-American storytellers. Talk about this year and how much more important that is.
I think it's extremely important, and that's one of the main reasons we didn't want to cancel the festival this year, because we still wanted to give them a platform so people can see their film, see their work, and at least give them some type of confidence to keep moving, to keep building, to keep creating through this pandemic, because I'm sure that this pandemic has wowed and changed a lot of people's perception and how they want to do things. But I think things like this and keep continuously showing and creating in a safe space, because there are safe ways to do it. It's kind of difficult, but there's safe ways to do it. It's kind of like keeping the distance, keep your hands clean, all that kind of thing. So it's working out for some filmmakers. In fact, we have several filmmakers that have shot a few films over the last couple of weeks.
Really?
I want to talk about the fact that, also in terms of like storytelling, the social justice films that we're seeing and giving a platform to filmmakers, especially African-American filmmakers who have films that speak directly to the times that we're experiencing right now with racial injustice. And so it's giving them a voice right now to be heard through their art.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I think, again, comes into focus at times like this, is that this is art. And art is what we turn to in Christ. One of the things that gives us voice and a platform and film and film festivals, I feel like now take on an even bigger role or even more importance, because everybody is turning to that art to try to make sense of what's happening.
Right, and what I mentioned earlier is that one of my jobs has been connecting with the filmmakers, doing these interviews that we've been doing now so that people can get to know the filmmakers, get to know their stories, have been very important for people to not only get their art out, but to have a voice and to connect with the community in terms of these issues that are going on as well too.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to cast forward to the 15th annual festival. What's that going to look like?
Well,
15.
Well, hopefully it looks like in person. And I think we're going to utilize this virtual platform at the same time.
Yeah.
I think we can blend them both together and come up with something extremely beautiful for that 15. Right? That's a milestone right there. That's a good one. She was done at 10, but kept moving.
I think another thing that has been great that has come out of this is as he mentioned, doing like a mixture of both. I think we are going to keep this virtual element. And one of the great things about having a virtual platform is that usually at film festivals, the screenings are held just like that one time. Yeah. But with this platform, you can have access to the films for 24 hours. Yes. Right? Yeah. So, sit back in the comfort of your home, check out multiple films at your leisure. We just want to give the dates for the festival as well, too. August 20th through the 23rd. You can follow all of the filmmakers and see the trailers for the film on any of our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram as well, too. Facebook. And Facebook. Definitely Facebook. A lot of the trailers are on there.
And the website to go see the films are dtiffeventive.org.
And we'll put that on our website as well.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a great support to the festival.
All these years, man.
I just love the idea of the festival, and I love what you guys do for the filmmakers and the storytellers who otherwise would not really get the kind of exposure that they do. So congrats on 14 years, and we'll look forward to being together again.
Yes.
We'll hold you to it.